Welcome you all to join the session. I'm going to welcome our chief guest, Mr. Santosh Murthy. He is a graduate in ME Computer Science. He is well experienced in the data science for the analytics thing, and he have an well qualified person, and he is having a high level knowledge in the research. 2 years experienced application engineer in TCS Technologies, and he is also 2 year experience in Apple product pre-sales and 4+ years experienced in the software pre-sale and business analytics. Currently, he is working in a solution architect at Tiffin Private Limited, Coimbatore. His area of experience is data analytics, business analytics, and working with the softwares, requirements gathering, and solution proposal. He is a well qualified member in the research area. It will be more useful to us. That's why we are fixing this type of chief guest. Now I am going to hand over the session to the chief guest.
Okay, so as Rajesh told, he completely explained my career. It was not a properly planned one because I have completed my Masters of Engineering by 2011, and then I have joined TCS, worked for 2 years and 1 year as assistant professor, and then in Apple pre-sales in the Coimbatore with the Coimbatore reseller, not directly with Apple. And then working as a business analyst and solution architect with a startup in Coimbatore, which is mainly application development and data analytics company. So first explain what data analytics is all about and why we are interested in data analytics and what is the business opportunity, career opportunity with the data analytics. So this slide is actually, this image is actually taken from IntelliPact. They have extensive data science courses within, which will be very useful for the beginners, like who are starting with the UG as the undergraduates. They can start learning with the data science. And as usual, I know most of you people have selected computer science as career, but don't know what are all the streams available with the computer science. I mean the branches, or what will be your future career with computer science. Even a graphic designer is a computer application developer, or called as an engineer. And high-end programming skills oriented programmers also be in the same computer science engineer. It is not like everyone have to learn the learn and be expert in the languages of Java or .NET or C#, C, everything. Because we learn computer science starting from C because that is the easiest way to understand the programming skills. But apart from that, now more than computer engineers, computer application developers or computer application handlers or administrators are more needed in the industry. Like if you are designing an user interface, or if you are designing a mobile app that is not there is no need of a proper engineer for that. You can be just a application designer. Like that is the difference between BCA, BSc Computer Science, and BE Computer Science. BE, BTech Computer Science, or everything under core computer science subjects like computer networking and operating systems. So they are much core. But being a science graduate or a BCA graduates, they can take up the application-oriented jobs easily. Even now, the mechanical engineers or agri-based students, they are coming into computer science field because they complete the courses such as UI designing, graphic designing, data science, whatever, even programming skills, testing, software testing, everything. So in that path, as a computer science graduates, you people can select data science as a subject with confidence, because there is a lot of opportunities with this department. And if you see this image, you get, I'll go by one. First is the what is data science? So data science is all about analyzing the data, and mostly the big data. Nowadays, we call this big data as a common word, because we all have PDA devices, that is personal digital assistance devices, which are smartphones, tablets, computers, everything. They are generating enormous amount of data. Like each and every click of your activity, user interface activities, each and every click, every scroll, everything is measured by the applications, such as Google, Facebook. Their business is completely relied on data. They take the user data and sell it to the businesses. So we need data. There is some science behind that data and business. To analyze or to understand what is behind the data, a data scientist is needed. A civil engineer or civil person or a agri-related oriented person can't interpret or play with the data. Only computer science engineers can understand and interpret the data. So there is a need of the data science. And why is it in demand? I don't want to explain actually. You people should have been known. Everywhere data speaks. Facebook, each and every post, every photo, every comment is valued based on its likes and dislikes, and the number of shares. Similarly, YouTube views, comments, positive comments, negative comments. You have to analyze everything, and then mainly the gaming data nowadays. How many people interact with the gamers? How many people are online? And how much time they are spending online? And that depends on the telecommunication availability with the area. If there is no 4G or something, we can't imagine of such data science opportunities available here. So thanks to the telecommunication advancements also, that is where the data starts generating. So next is, what are the data science skills you can learn? Mathematics is the basics of computer science. If you see, in engineering courses, BE computer science, there will be 7 max papers, at least 6. Similarly, in science, BSc and BCA everywhere, max will be at least 2 or 3 papers, because maths and logics are the basics of computer science, and data science is completely a mathematics oriented one. You all know, I think we all have the graphs, get introduced to graph during our school days, during our 6th, 7th, 8th or sometime. We will start plotting the data against X and Y axis. And we start drawing the lines and project how our data points are plotted. That is the basic of everything. Charts is data science and data visualization. And statistics is all about plain raw data which can be interpreted and visually presented as graphs. I'll show you what type of graphs and how many types of graphs available and how we are going to use it to build a dashboard in the data analytics. So that is statistics. Next is programming. Regarding programming, it is all about SQL, because query languages is how you can start questioning the data. For example, you have a huge database, whatever it be, Oracle or Amazon or a MySQL or a MongoDB or even a Excel CSV files. Everything is a database. How we are going to interact with the database is using the programming. Programming is not much programs. The SQL or the core programming skill needed in the data science area. And next is machine learning. Machine learning is I would say that is the most advanced topic here. That is, with the old data, how we are going to predict the upcoming data. The machine, the computers or the softwares, they start to learn by itself using the old data, and they start predicting what is going to come in the future. So it may be, for example, a stock market. We can predict with the all external and the core factors, and predict and try to predict a share or company's share price, how it is going to behave. Either it is going to go up or down based on the all the factors. And next is algebra. I told you everything is math, so that's basic, very base of the data analytics. And data wrangling. Data wrangling is like how we are going to wrangle the data between applications, and how we are going to bind the data. Like the data may come from various sources. For example, for a business, data may come from their website, their Facebook page, their Instagram page, from their TV advertisements, their paper advertisements. They wrangle it everything and present in a single dashboard to understand in which media they are more popular, so that they can start spending more money in that media. For a particular business, TV commercial ads may be the most is getting the most views, so they start spending more and more money in TV ads. That will be understand only if they compare that data with their Facebook advertisement data and other media data like newspaper data advertisements, and see how many viewers they are getting based on their advertisements. So they start spending more on which channel they prefer most, which channel is more benefit to them. And next one is the data visualization, which is going to be the main topic for us for next half an hour, 45 minutes. I'll explain that in a big way. Data visualization is just presenting the data, the column and row data or the Excel data in a visually pleasing way, like bar charts, graphs, infographics, map-oriented charts, and even numbers, even simple numbers. We call it as KPI, key performance indicators. That is also a chart. So I'll show that in detail. I'll brief that. And next is big data. Big data is now with the, as I told, with the availability of internet, data is getting generated everywhere with every touch and every click. And the storytelling. And the storytelling is, for example, we have charts, but we have to understand what these charts are coming to say. Either your business is going up or going down. Let's say take this COVID situation. With this, if we analyze the data, we can clearly understand that COVID has started spreading by early March in the foreign countries, and slowly it started to India, and it was in control during the lockdown times. Once the lockdown is released, people started moving, COVID started spreading most. So this story can be understood with the graphs, how the lockdown days and the unlock days, how the COVID is spreading, and which area the COVID is most spreading. If we analyze the data along with the map, that will show which area is most infected. And finally, the collaboration skills. It is like with the data science engineers. Okay, you have the dashboard. For example, a sales manager is getting all the dashboards. He's seeing which area he's getting more sales, which area he's going down. But he need to understand and compare the charts with the old data and the other competitor company data, and then he has to give instructions to the his subordinates. So how he is going to collaborate with the people and the dashboard, how he is going to interpret the data, the dashboards, that is very important. Actually, that collaboration skills mostly that comes under as an administrative part, maybe a MBA, BBA students, they can take it, or even in your later part of career or later part of your studies, you will come to know that. And next, finally, is the types of career in data science. So you get business intelligence. That is what I have finally told. A manager can understand how his business is behaving. So that business related understandings that can be taken from this data science. And next is data mining engineer, that you people can become a data mining engineer. I mean, the data is buried somewhere in the Facebook or Google Studio, or even in a big Oracle database, enterprise database. How you are going to write the queries, SQL queries, and how you are going to pull out the data, that is all about data mining. And then data architect, that is a team lead of a data science, can be called as a data architect. He need to instruct his subordinates and how to mine the data, either the SQL or the queries that they are posting or building is proper or not. How, even if it is proper, how efficient they can build the same query to retrieve the data in fast time. Those kind of performance related things can be taken from the data architect. And finally, the data scientist, that is mostly taken up by the research fellows or the PhD graduates. That is very high-end analytical skills, mostly Oracle, SAP, SAS, these kind of programming skills. Even Python now is helping more in the data research areas. So this is how the career of data science can be built. This is what the need of data science. So I have completed this introduction to the data science and how you can be part of a data science career. So next, directly we can go into a tool where I will show how the data can be visualized with the data visualization tool. How Excel data can be interpreted, or how SQL data can be pulled and create a dashboard using multiple charts. Here I am taking the open source data visualization tool, which is part of Google product suite that is called as Data Studio. This is a visualization tool that Google is providing. It's an open source, so whoever is interested with data science, they can start using this tool. There are hundreds of data visualization tools available with the market. The leaders of the market are Microsoft, Tableau, QuickSense, Sisense, and a lot of them. So most top 5 are these fellows, and they have very vast market. So I can. This is the dashboard. What we call dashboard in theory is this one, this part. Okay, I can show you an image. This is a dashboard. So here you will understand how data is visually presented. This is a map chart. This is a table chart with some visualizations inside. This is a multi-bar chart where visually the colors differentiate the numbers, and these are, we call it as KPIs, which are simple. You can understand just by seeing this. The total income is some 55 million something, and how many visitors? 51,000 something visitors. The simple to understand, but key performance indicators. If there is a web page or a YouTube video, the key performance indicator is going to be the number of views, and the number of shares, and the number of likes, dislikes. These are key. What will be the other sub data that can be understood from YouTube video is how much time it is being totally played. Say a video is 10 minutes long, but that can be played n number of times. It can be played 100 times or 200 times, but how much time it is totally played, that also matters. But that is not a key performance indicator. Key performance indicator, if you go to a YouTube channel or page, you will see how many subscribers or how many likes. That's it. That is a key performance indicator. So that can be a simple graph or a speedometer kind of thing, or a simple text. I'll show you how a text looks like. This is a key performance indicator. In the marketing website, how many users, how many sessions, how many page views, how many bounce rate. These are all key performance indicator for a company's website or a marketing website. So these are all the charts. This is a line chart, multi-line chart. This is a map chart. This is a bar chart, and this is a table chart. This is a pie chart. Everything. If we combine everything into a single dashboard, but a dashboard should be meaningful. You should not combine a different data into a sales data. Sales data should be related with its oriented data. Maybe sales data can be compared with revenue data or expense data. How much expense is spent for advertisement and how much sales they are getting back. That can be compared. But other inappropriate data cannot be compared with the sales data. So a dashboard should be meaningful. First of all, you have to understand the data. That is what a data analyst or data analytics is all about. If there is a big Excel sheet, you have to understand what each column represents, and then start building these charts. I'll show you how to build a single chart and then pull that into a dashboard. That I'll show. This, you can see, this is a date filter. You can filter the date. This is a date which is shown for a defined time from August 26 to September 24 May. You can change the date and times. You can change, for example, if you want to see the data from August 1 to end date is August 30. If you want to see the data will change here according to the filter. Here it is a date filter. You can keep a new filter which may be a area-wise filter. For example, you can filter to a particular country or particular state, whatever it be. So that also possible. You see here, you have a country-oriented data. So you can drill down this data further. For example, if there is, we can simply say the total number of COVID persons in India is something around 50 lakhs, but you can drill down further and say what is the total number of COVID patients in each state, say Tamil Nadu or Kerala or Andhra. So similarly here, you get those data. And so I think you people can start logging in this tool. Search Data Studio and you'll get this Data Studio product. You go and just you need a Google account. That's it. If you take in a Google account, it will automatically log in and it will show whatever is available as template. And if you want to create a new blank report, you people can start creating it. I'll tell you how to connect the data sources. You can take data from Excel, you can take data from MySQL, you can take data from MongoDB, you can take data from FD, you can take data from YouTube. If you have a YouTube channel, you can log in and link that channel with, here. And you can start pulling the data and analyze data. For example, see here. So should I give some time for you people have to log in and see now itself? So students, so let me proceed. See, after coming into the Data Studio page, you click on the connect to data. See, this is the home page that you will get after logging into the Data Studio. You click on here and you will get the add data. Here Google has given all the connectors readily available, so you don't need to work hard. Just if you have any data with the Google Sheets, click on Google Sheets. Whatever data you have will be shown here. I have some data with my Google Drive, so let me open it. See, I have a sample YouTube data, country-wise COVID data. This is a taxi company's data. This is marketing company's Google data analytics data. So you can click anything and you can open it. So not only the Google Sheets data, if some of you have any CSV or Excel sheet, you can directly upload those data using this option. It will directly ask you to upload the data from your storage or your local storage or cloud storage, wherever it be. That's simple. Similarly, see all the databases which Google is directly connecting, they are also available. See here, you get the, I just wanted to show you how YouTube Analytics works. So here you get the your YouTube channel. Just the Data Studio requires the authorization to connect to the YouTube Analytics. So it will ask you which YouTube, which account, Google account you have to connect to. So here's okay. I don't have any YouTube channels here. So if you own only, if anybody owns a YouTube channel, you people can connect it using this YouTube Analytics connector available with the Data Studio, and directly it will pull all the data. And after getting all the data, you can start building a dashboard like this. This is a sample channel report for a YouTube. Okay, this is a dashboard. This is a sample dashboard actually. If you want to see what data is visualized here, see, you'll get so simple. This is the data that is being visualized so graphically there. If say you own a channel, and these are all the video IDs that you have in the channel. Say you have 10, 11 videos, and each video have a video ID. In our YouTube site, you have a video title, and that will be interpreted using a video ID. And this is the number of views that you get with the ID. These are all the watch times. Okay, this is the number of views, but still how much time it is being watched. So that also measured, and that will be given from the YouTube database, and how much time each video is being shared. So this is a simple data set, right? And this data set is being interpreted here like this. So this is your channel report. You have total number of 15.6K likes. Watch time is 5 hours and 14 minutes, and 1.7K total video shares. These are all, as I said earlier, this views, watch time, and video shares are called as the key performance indicators. Okay. These key performance indicators are always the aggregated values of the raw data. Aggregation means sum, mean, median, total, average. These are all called as aggregates, right? If you take the total number of views, it is going to be the 15,000, right? That is shown here. These are all the total sum aggregates of the data, and this shows the number of views against the date. In x-axis they have used date, and in y-axis they have used the number of views. So if you create a chart like this with the existing data, it will come up. I'll show you how to build a single chart. Okay, this is the entire database. This is a table chart. Why this is called a table chart is, see, this is the data table, and the same data table is represented here. Simple, but with some color graphic. So this is a database, a table chart. See how many positive likes, how many negative likes, how many subscriptions being added, and how many people left your channel for this. If you see, this is for a particular time period, August 28 to September 20. If you change that to August 1 to August 31st, you are getting the data for August. See, data is completely changed. So this is a date filter. So how many user comments is there? How many video comments? How many dislikes newly added? How many dislikes are removed? This will give you a complete analytics on what is happening and which area is from which area your channel or your video is getting more attracted. That is the main thing. For example, if a company is launching a product in India or US, they display an ad, but they need to understand which area that ad is mostly being liked by the persons or where that ad is mostly played. Based on that, they'll invest more and they'll keep more products on stock in that area. For example, if a product is launched, that will be more liked by the Tamil Nadu, and more stock will be kept by that company in Tamil Nadu. But in Karnataka, if the number of views for the advertisement is less, obviously the sales is going to be less. So they no need to keep more stock in Karnataka. So this is a business intelligence. This is understanding as a business owner or business user or a manager. This is called as business intelligence. You get the intelligence out of this dashboard and chart. Okay. This each thing. This is a chart. See, this is a chart. You can remove this chart from here. You can explore how it is being built. Okay. See, this is a chart builder. Okay. This is a chart which is present here. Okay. This is the chart which is being now opened in a chart builder, chart explorer. So here you can change any data. See, once you connect the data, the columns in the data will be coming here. Okay, this is sample YouTube data. Okay, this is sample YouTube data. If you change data here, you are going to pull a new data here. Say the AdWords data. So the data is completely changed. Now here there is a date range dimension. So if you want to add a new dimension, search your offers. You can compare it against the campaign ID. The star. So if you want to blend the data, okay, this will be more advanced. Let's not confuse here. So whatever fields that you get in the data, whatever fields that you get in here in the sample data, right? These column names will be displayed as attributes and dimensions here. Okay, you can compare anything here and here. You can compare let's compare simple data, device data. Okay, let's go to the old chart itself. Open that. So this is a line chart. Let's see how it changes with other charts simply. This is a pie chart. All different graphical representations. Each and everything is a single different chart, but the thing is the data is same. You need to pick the right data for each chart type. So this is called the KPI, total number of views. This is a time series chart with the time, how the sales or number of views is increasing, decreasing, everything. And this is your chart, but see. So if you want to further see how much data with this chart, there is no state-wise data, so you can't further drill down. Else, if you click on US, it will expand and show only the US data. So that is a filter actually. If you want to bring a filter here, this is a filter. You can keep date-wise filter or area filter or only liked videos. You have to see the data for only charts for only liked videos. That filter will be applied from here. Okay. These are charts can be. You can build all these charts there, and if you want to add a new chart here, okay. Copy of this report. Okay, this is the existing, already existing dashboard is there, but you can add a new chart to the dashboard. Let's say we are going to add a bar chart here. You can move and place it anywhere you want. This is just drag and drop. I'm going to bring that to the end of let's delete the old chart and keep this new chart here. Okay, this is a new chart that is being built, and this data is already here. We will remove the data here. We'll keep the views. History. Okay, so this is a new chart added. You can click on add new chart and you will get the list of charts available. You can click on anything, and for that if you click on that particular chart, you will get the this column names, fields opening in the side. You can pull that here for x-axis and pull that here y-axis. I have compared the number of views against the date, so it will give how much views we are getting each month or each day. You can drill down in any way. You do that one. So you will get this watch time. Once you add data and add a new chart, you have to refresh this chart, okay, so that this chart will be refreshed. And say for example, this is a chart. You have created this dashboard, but you have to share this dashboard with some other manager or someone. You can either share this using their mail ID, or you can just download the report as a PDF. See, the entire report built there along with the chart which I have kept in between, that will be downloaded, and you can share this PDF with any business user. So they see, okay, I run a channel, and what is the total number of views, and for each video, maybe some video may be mostly liked, some video may not be liked by the people. So they'll remove that video, or they will not do such type of contents in future. This will be the future. In future, how it will be like. For example, now the movies are coming mostly on OTT, like in Hotstar or Amazon Prime. So in that also they can understand the channel can understand, or the movie producer can understand how the movie is performing. Previously, the success of the movie or a channel can be indirectly known using the in crowd or the cinema theaters, but now it can be directly been visible using this data analytics, because data is always getting generated. For each time you start seeing a video in the Netflix or Amazon Prime or something, the total number of times a video is getting played or a movie is getting played will get updated in the database. So you can start visualizing the data. So the producer or the channel, they can see how their content is performing, either it is liked or disliked. So based on that, they'll change the content and they'll try to increase the number of views. So big data is generated everywhere with the content available. So the more the number of video contents or the image contents, more number of data will be generated. If there is some text-oriented stories or some articles, there will be more. There will not be much interest in that. But if it is presented in a video format or a pictorial format, then that will get more number of views. So that can be analyzed here. Mainly the channel performance is important. So this, if a MD is seeing, he cannot come and work in this Google Studio, or he cannot understand what is this data, what is this dimensions. They don't want such things. A manager, a business manager, or a MD or a CEO, he just wanted to know from August 20 to September 24 what is their channel performance. So that will be shown here. In their board meeting, they'll explain everything, and either they'll be satisfied or not satisfied, or they need to improve in such in few areas. They'll analyze this and they'll change their content accordingly. So this is called business intelligence here. So to create this one, you don't need to know any type of such to create such reports. You don't need any kind of programming skills. You just need to understand the data and work on it. So what my advice is, you people can just, if there will be some of your friends or your known persons who own a YouTube channel, or simply you start a YouTube channel and say some people may be experts in cookery classes or cooking something videos, you put them and see how much views are coming in, how much views are going out. This is YouTube analytics. Similarly, there is Facebook analytics. So Facebook analytics is all about performance of their Facebook channel. If you have a Facebook channel or a Facebook page, business page, then only you can take data of their Facebook data. So if you have your personal account, then there won't be any data available to analyze. So you have to understand, you have to have a Facebook page. If you have a page, you have followers, or you have a business page, you can see for each post that you are posting or each photo that you are posting with Facebook, how much views you are just getting, the number of views and number of shares or something like that. If you take the data from Facebook analytics, then you will see each day how much like you are getting in. But in your account, you will not see each day how much like you are getting. Your likes are increasing. But in analytics, you can see that. So similarly, that is very important for a business page, because they may be posting a product 1 month before. For 1 month, they are not running any advertisement. But from today, if they start running advertisement in Facebook, the post will reach most people, and the likes will start increasing. So the business people will understand, okay, the spending for Facebook advertisement is worth for them, and also they'll get the data from which area they are getting the likes. So that is the most important. But in your Facebook page, in your user interface, your personal account, you will not get such things. You don't know from where the likes are getting in. For example, you are getting the likes mostly from Maharashtra, but what is the need? You spend the advertisement in Tamil Nadu. So that is a simple business intelligence you need to understand. This cannot be, this data will not be visible, was not visible during the olden days where you give advertisement using papers or TV channel. In TV channel, if advertisement plays, everyone just sees. But in Facebook, particularly, advertisement is viewed by only by the interested person. So you can easily analyze and target that person. That person is going to be your potential customer, and he is going to buy something. That is why you started getting the advertisement of the same product if you go anywhere in the Facebook or Google or everywhere. You search once in Google or Facebook, the data will be spread across the digital media. So that data can be built like this by the computer science graduates and presented to a manager. He will understand his business. For that, you need to understand their data and how to use these kind of data visualization tools to give charts. So I think this may be first time if you're hearing this may be something very simple, but maybe a little bit confusions. But if this will be interesting, instead of wasting your time somewhere in watching movies or something, you can start analyzing your own pages. You start analyzing your own YouTube channels. You start some YouTube channel and start selling something. If you're getting some nearby agri product or a textile product, whatever it be, you start posting it in Facebook. You create a page. You start posting it there. If you then you will start get the number of views, number of likes, number of dislikes, number of share data in your Facebook analytics or in your YouTube analytics. Connect that to Data Studio of Google or Power BI of Microsoft. They all offer some free accounts for students. So you connect the data and start creating such kind of simple charts. Create one simple chart and see how it works. So as a science graduate, computer science graduate, during interview, even if you say I have out of my data analytic interest, I have created a YouTube channel or some data source point, and if you start analyzing the data and you show them that I have created a chart or dashboard, let it be very simple or something, but they will be attracted with such kind of interest that you have. So that will be very helpful in your career, or at least getting a job. Okay. So that's it. Let's see whether I get some other session to help you people guide more. So that's it, students. Rajesh.
Sir, I will be.
Yeah. I'm done with the session. So okay, at least you people can start exploring about this data visualization. That is enough. You start googling it, what is data visualization and what is Data Studio. See what Microsoft Power BI is all about. They both are kings of this visualization. So you see Google Data Studio and Microsoft Power BI and start reading about it. Try something in YouTube channels and Facebook advertisement pages and pull that data. Try to create simple charts. That's okay. That's enough. So that's it, Rajesh. So thanks.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Now we're going to end the session. First of all, I have to thank our chief guest, Mr. Santosh Murthy. He has explained as a live class about the data science, because we are all know about the data science, but we are not having that much of knowledge in practical. But now we are got some basic knowledge how it will be working on it, because nowadays we are always hearing data science is important, data science is more important topic and the subject and everything, but we don't know about how it will be live. We can able to work on it. Now we can easily understand in this session. We can easily understand the thing how we can able to do the data analytics in the data visualization also. It is
real-time applications also you are explained, sir. It is very nice. We can easily understand, and the students also, they can able to start the practice how it will be going to work on it. Then I have to extend my thanks to our secretary, sir. He is giving a more facility to us to conducting this type of webinars. And I have to extend my thanks to our principal and the department faculty members and my dear students. Thank you all.